Hey, my name's Shawnshawn. Today we're going to react to Tahlia Stanton. So she's an artist. I think she does figurative art. She only has a few videos up on YouTube, but already extremely successful. I think it's due to a lot of video skills. So let's take a look at her YouTube channel. You have a nice banner here of a sample of her work going across with several pictures of her, so you know what she looks like. That's pretty smart. She has a TikTok link, Instagram link, and what else is this? I'm not sure what the other link is, but I don't think one of her links is to the website. I would just do the website because TikTok is repetitive of YouTube. Basically, you know, TikTok and YouTube Shorts are basically the same thing, so I wouldn't even have TikTok here. I would just all focal it down to a website. On mine, I do like a free painting kind of, so people are like, ooh, what's this? So you get to the website. That's kind of how I think I'm doing. She's doing excellent art, so maybe that's not a thing for her. So let's go to the first video called Lots of Painting Art Vlog with little icons in the title, which I've started adding. I don't know if it helps, but let's just take a look. So nice, really quick, straight through the painting. There's going to be a sample of what you're going to see, so that's really nice.
Good morning, gorgeous. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today for this little art vlog, some behind the scenes, some things that are happening in my studio.
So I think it's really strong energy. Starts with the headshot. That's what I always start my videos with. You're just straight on the camera, so you kind of see who it is. You get the personality coming across. And she has her art in the background with her studio in the background, so you kind of see what she does. Very clean setup again. A lot of paintbrushes, so she definitely has a lot of stuff set up. Let's continue on.
There's going to be a lot of painting, some business photo shoots, and all of those fun things. I'm going to be discussing just some lifestyle stuff and tips for running your art business too. So
let's skip ahead a little bit. This is pretty cool.
I wanted something that was really warm and fiery and just felt like passion, but like, you know, the sigh of relief that you feel once you've like achieved that big thing that you're going for. So this painting was majorly for...
So she has a really lot of chop shots here. She's taken like several angles on the camera and just chop, 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 chop. So from editing standpoint, it's really smart. What that's going to do is going to keep your eyes are just going to be like, what's that, what's that, what's that, what's that? So you keep the engagement level really high in the video. So that's why I think she's getting a lot of views. It's obviously a really good artist too. Interesting style, but really quickly paced, a very TikTok style pacing here.
A solo show, and to see just how far I could push oil paint again. And looking back at this footage, I can see that like I'm still too tight in my brush strokes, and when you're going for something that is more bold and expressive in your work, using big brush strokes is definitely ideal. Just the thick butteriness of this oil paint is just stunning. This color right here, I'm pretty sure it's called Brilliant Rose from Old Holland. Look at how much it's able to hold its beautiful peaks. It just looks so raw.
Again, great detail shots on mixing the paint. I don't do that, but I think it obviously is a great way to sell a painting, what you're actually doing.
Stunning and so impactful. I feel like so many of us artists get so caught up in the idea of perfection that we go too tight and that
it's really cut really tight to here. It's like it doesn't have any flow of a traditional painting video, but I think she's got a lot of great energy. Obviously very talented. Let's skip ahead a little bit more, guys.
Match certain pieces, and we like purchased items just for this photo shoot, like the bouquet that matches just perfectly for a little pop of color, and just adjusting things, tweaking little like T2 labels.
Okay, so now I understand how she's selling her art. She has this sexy model here versus herself as the artist. She's just saying not ideal, I would say, for selling artwork. A sexy girl is going to sell better than a different size girl, so that's why I think she's changing it up here.
On the T, just to make sure that's shown off, and adjusting the fruit, but like, as you can
skip ahead a little bit.
For TikTok and Reels at the same time, but anyway.
So I think she's done several videos here spliced together. I would just do one. It's kind of, you don't really want to chop it up that way, I think. You can do it this way. Obviously, she's done it and it's working. But I would just do every painting its own video, a painting its own video. You might add them later and kind of chop them together like she's done. I've seen that on this Swiss guy who does it, where he kind of does one painting and then he adds little snippets of his other painting to kind of make it a really great marketing ad, kind of, I would say. So maybe that's the intent here.
Painting that I'm working on is... she's like Equinox, but like sort of more green reef-y, and yeah, I'm just really excited for what this painting is bringing. And I've done a lot of studies over the last couple of months, finished off some paintings, did more photo shoots, and have just been working in preparation for London Fair.
But she has super good talent. You can see with this drawing level, painting level, technique, just like amazing stuff here. I want to skip ahead a little bit more, guys. I like it because it feels so painterly too.
For a couple of days now, and the biggest thing that's kind of putting me off is this blue in the background. I think it needs to be a little bit more green. Yeah, maybe just a bit more dusty and sage-ish, I suppose. But the gold leaf looks really, really pretty. It might, like, I think it looks a little too yellow there, but all things that we can fix. And yeah, she's got a lot of work on her face to go, but
yeah, yellow's a real pain to work with. It's so cool because it's abstract to realism mixed. I love that.
One more really exciting thing that happened is I created some pieces for the Ballarat Wildlife Park for their Tassie Devil Day, and I'm really big on conservation. And yeah, we raised $8,200.
I think she could have a little more steadier camera thing. I think she's just using an iPhone. It's a little bit jerky, but I mean, great talent, so who cares at the end of the day. But if you had a smoother camera roll, it would come a little more pro, but again, it doesn't have that personal touch if you do it too pro. So I like to do it pro if possible, but you know, everyone's has their own style. Let's skip ahead.
$70 for the Tassie Devils, and that just so fills my heart. So
let's skip ahead to here.
Oh, it's just wild to me. But anyway, she's here for my inspiration to just let me know how far I've come, because it's taken a lot of work to get to this point. It's a bit much, but one of my followers just reached out to me just like, hey.
She has a really great energy to come across the screen, which is really, you know, just straightforward, in your face personality, which is what you want when you do a painting video. Okay, let's end that one. We'll go to the next one. It's called Expressive Portrait Painting Tips.
Little paint with me video. Today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite tips on how to paint a portrait.
So a really good detail shot on right off the bat from how to put the paint on the glass palette. I love this glass palette. This is the same one I use. This is what I highly encourage people to use. And just talking straight away. Very, very fast talker. I'm a fast talker, but it's just like funny to hear that too.
Oils. The paints that I'm using in today's demonstration are mostly Stanton, Charvin, and Old Holland. I'm also using odorless mineral spirits and Galkid for my medium. Here I'm working on a beautiful gesso board panel, so
I love how she just throws the paint on and just not afraid to blah, 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 blah. Then we'll see what happens, and then just add. So it's such a great, unafraid version of painting. It's awesome.
I wanted to make sure that my foundational sketch was really accurate, so I went ahead and did that before I started painting. My first strokes of colour are very general, not too specific. It is just laying down the foundation to be built upon in further layers. If you're familiar with oils, you most likely know about the fat over lean rule, so every layer that you add on top of your previous layers has to have a little bit more medium. This is to ensure that everything is archival and you're not going to experience any cracking in the future. But as you can see, my starting layers are very thin, and then with every layer of glaze on top of that, I'm adding in...
So it's using a speed painting here with a voiceover on top, so you kind of speed that along really fast.
More medium to the mixture. When you're working with a lot
Which
of
I'm
thin
a big fan of
lasers,
speed
a
painting.
good tip is to work from really thin to thick layers.
Because I think if you use like a real long painting, like a 3-hour video, which is probably what it might take, it's just not, I don't think it comes across well. Some people like that, and I've done that on my other channel, which is for, I don't know, something, but yeah, I think speed painting is the way to go.
And working from light to dark. This will give you so much control, and you'll also be able to move forward in your piece with a lot of intentionality. No matter what you're painting, even if it's just a little study, try to hone your artistic...
Just such great combination of elements, you know, like a figure with flowers, and those are obviously well sellable, kind of scratched up in the top, which is kind of a graffiti, calligraphy kind of feel to it as well. So it's a really cool combination. A little bit of salt damage in one corner. Let's skip ahead a little bit more.
Opportunity to just be like,
oh, that's very fast, so you don't really need to skip.
I screwed it up anyway. Let's just have fun.
This is nice. You slow down a little pieces.
Fun exploration and play. Consider what you can add to your portrait to give it something that's a little bit more of an artistic flair, something that is joyful, something that makes you happy to paint. Really ponder what you want your artwork to look like. Also be really thoughtful about the sorts of materials that you want to work with.
Yeah, this is a really good idea. Just having kind of the philosophy of your materials and stuff, talking along with the painting. If you use obviously one medium, I usually just stick to acrylic, so it's you don't have these issues, but she has like kind of a charcoal in the background, pencil. She's probably sprayed it on top to protect that so it doesn't bleed through, and then she's using oil, and you do thin to thick, obviously.
For instance, I personally prefer painting portraiture with flat brushes. flat brush strokes, oh my god, I don't know what it is about it, but it just really resonates with me. Whereas you might prefer filberts or round brushes. It's exploration. It's finding how you want to express yourself. Knowing how to step back and assess your work coldly is.
And she's obviously changing up the camera angles, which I think works the best for a painting. It just doesn't get as boring. I know in the past I've done just kind of a standard shot, so I would encourage you to shoot this way if you can. Obviously, it's way busier and distracting to film yourself this way. It's easier just to put the camera on a tripod, film, maybe change it once or twice. That's easier to work with because you paint more naturally. So it's very hard, I think, to paint this way. But I've done it a little bit myself, but I don't know. It's hard to paint well at the same time as doing a camera shot. Maybe she has a friend there helping her. I don't know. I want to skip ahead a little bit, guys.
Proud of, but it still taught you something, or it could very well be a breakthrough in your work, but it's worth it to take the risk. One of my favorite painting tips is to leave your very last, brightest, most beautiful of highlights for last. This is something that is a bit difficult for us to do. We want to see what the piece is going to look like, and we want to see those beautiful final details.
Really nice soft music in the background. Let's skip ahead to the very end here.
Sell their pieces pretty quickly, and this way you don't have to wait 6 months for your paint to be dry fully before you can varnish it, which is so good. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, varnish makes a huge difference. In oil, you usually have to wait 2 years, so it's a real problem with oil, which is why I like acrylic better. You just paint, literally the next day you can do varnish, which is way better, but there are some things to be said for oil because you can do really thin layers in oil, which is much more challenging in acrylic to do right. The next one's called Overcoming Burnout and Creative Block Art Blog. So I like the fact that she's adding her own kind of philosophy as she talks. Makes for a very, very strong video because it's just, you're doing the painting plus you're doing some philosophy and adding it all together just really value packs it. Great detail shot with the brushes, putting the paint on, which is a good start. Do you show yourself filming or self-filming? But you kind of have to do that with Instagram and TikTok and all this other noise you have to do.
It has been, what, well over a year. Look how much longer my hair is. There is going to be a massive difference between how I look now and the footage from July of 20.
Really great headshot start, so that's a great way to start. Let's get into the next. She has another video cut here, which is she's doing 2 paintings at once. Again, I would probably just do 1 painting in 1 vlog, but it's an art vlog. You can do however you want. Yeah, obviously, the style is working for her.
If you guys already like swarmed to the prints, I was just like... Okay, as you can see from the title of this video, today I'm going to be discussing a bit of a year of growth, overcoming burnout, and I wanted to share with you some of the things that have been on a lot of artists' minds lately, and it's something that stopped me from posting this video, and a bit of a looming shadow, if you will, over the art community, and that is burnout and creative block. My theory is that burnout and creative block are sisters and the best of buddies. They certainly feel similar. I mean, how often have we mistaken one for the other throughout our practice?
I think a lot of artists, they get into this because they don't paint regularly. If you just daily paint, regardless of whatever you do, you're not going to hit this block, so to say. You might have crappy painting. That's always possible. But you can have a crappy painting when you're feeling it. So just, stick to the discipline. You're gonna knock out all this dust.
More importantly, what are they trying to offer us? In Stephen Pressfield's The War of Art, they explore resistance as rearing its gritty snout, trying to stop us from doing what we know is our true calling. That very same resistance tried to stop me from making this video at all. So how do we recognize resistance in our lives, and how do we combat it? Part 1. Are you starting to feel overwhelmed? Burnout and creative blocks can be so helpful in showing you how far you can be stretched, how many projects you can take on, and what you're capable of. Knowing our breaking point can actually be a really valuable part of becoming a professional artist.
It's amazing, like, the shots he has, and also her technique as far as, like, splatter, and then brushstrokes, and then highly detailed, and then focused out, and just... She has a really, really loose kind of style that she can just do anything with. It's just really impressive as far as just the painting style. Let's go a little bit ahead here.
I just think that it's something pretty important for us to recognize. Reframe the words you speak and the way that you treat yourself. Our words and energy have power. It is mighty, to say the very least. Did you know that plants react to words? If you repeat like, stupid weed, why won't you behave and grow like you're supposed to? Your plants will wilt and wither in front of your eyes. But if you greet them with a warm smile and say, come on little one, you can do it, you're so beautiful, look at you.
It's interesting, a lot of artists do this kind of like what they're eating along the way. I mean, this is a vlog, so a vlog should be with food eating, I guess, but it just kind of shows another aspect to the artist's life, which kind of adds a lot of interest because a lot of artists it's only about the painting, which there's an argument to be said that people only want to see the painting, they don't really care what you ate for breakfast kind of thing. But at the same time, to really get that personal touch with personality, you have to add kind of rode my bike here, I went to a museum there, I did this, I did that. So that's kind of on the fence of what the best approach is. A lot of artists will say it has to be painting vlogs only or painting only and that's it, you know. And then you have that look, you know. Whereas this is kind of a little bit loosey-goosey, I would say, as far as like do a vlog, do a painting, a vlog. And so it's kind of a mix of the styles. It obviously works because she's getting lots of views. But I think it's not only the video quality, she has a really good production level there, but she has a high quality of painting as well. So, because you wouldn't have this high view count with she only has 33 videos. So it's just amazing she's getting this quality.
You're giving your best. They will flourish and thrive. Likewise, if you repeat how overwhelmed you are all of the time, of course you're going to feel it more deeply.
Okay, let's skip a little bit ahead.
A vector signature at the top and then say what it is, like this certifies that it's an original painting. And yeah,
this is a really good setup for the certificate of authenticity. I think mine's really simple and I sign it, but I like how she has actually a photo of the art because it really identifies that it was made by the artist and not by some museum or gallery that's going to do it second, third, fourth sale. They're going to be like, here's my certificate of authenticity, you know? So I think it's really cool as an artist. If you can make it really crafty like this, it looks really cool.
Copyright disclaimer as well. And then I sign it and add the date. So yeah. I'm going to pick out a little print to go in with her order. Yeah, I just love to add little extras and I think that it's just such a beautiful thing to do.
Yeah, I think this is a really smart thing. I haven't been doing it lately, but I used to always do this. Add a little tiny piece of postcard or sticker or something in there. Something unexpected, so when the viewer get it, they're going to be like blown away by the painting, obviously. But they're also going to have that little, oh, he sent a little piece of art that I didn't expect. So it's a really easy way to make great, you know, that long-term client that might buy multiple times is just send them a little piece of free art, postcard, anything along the way. It's going to really add the value, so I think it's really smart.
You know, you always want a little extra something. Hope you don't mind watching her get packaged. A lot of it's pretty self-explanatory, just signing the certificates, adding a little special something, and then I'm wiring the back of another painting. You can see the process on how I do that, and I just like to make sure that it's really neat and tidy at the back, so it just looks nice and tidy and professional. So yeah. Anyway, back to our talk on perfectionism. The idea of perfect is a bit of an illusion. Again, our art doesn't want to be perfect. If so many of us are struggling with it, so many artists all over the world, would it not make sense that art in general isn't really wanting perfect? It wants beauty, but it wants ugliness.
I was like, what the hell is she doing with those nails into the side? It's like, oh, she's screwing that in. Like, it's totally different than the American system where you drill it into the thing and then I don't know, it's different hook style, but it works obviously well.
It wants the imperfect, it wants scratchy, a little bit rough at the edges.
I would also say a lot of artists do this, they sign the back instead of the front. I would encourage you guys, sign the front. When you first see the art, you're only going to see the front of the painting, you're never going to see the back of it unless you own it. So if you sign the front, they're going to immediately know, oh, this is Tahlia Stanton. I'm sorry. But you would know her name straight off the back because it's going to be signed on the front, so some people sign in the back, but I wouldn't do that because you have any similar artist that does the same exact style and they sign in the back, no one knows the difference. But if you always sign in the front, they're going to notice, oh, that's her, that's my favorite artist. And there's, oh, this is someone that's similar to her. Maybe I'll collect her, but I like this artist better. So signing in the front has a huge advantage, I think, versus signing in the back.
I didn't do all of it because I almost gave up on the piece. I don't know why. It's just an artist thing. I don't know. Sometimes we just get so in our head, you know, it's supposed to look a certain way and you want it to be perfect.
Like, she has a great understanding of academic drawing, but then she's adding these bright colors on top of it. Just color-wise beautiful, painting beautiful.
Perfect,
really great technique.
Chasing after perfection all the time, like really hinders your work and your art actually becoming like transcendent and something that's bigger than you.
I'm going to stop it there. I just say she has some really amazing painting. So let's look at her website. So her website says, okay, so this is like, I guess you could set the country right out of the bat. So maybe she has multiple. Let's see what she has. Holy cow, she can ship to all these countries, all right? So I'll just skip that. So that's kind of a cool thing. I don't know if I would do it, but I think it's cool because, so let's just put continue. I mean, the good thing is it's not a pop-up saying like, sign up now or something really obnoxious. So that's really smart. She has her initials at the top. That's kind of nice. Fine art prints, tapestry, linear prints about the artist. So these are all straightforward menu drops. So that's really smart. You got a little picture of her, fine art prints. So she does prints, obviously. So she, you know, start at the beginning level for collectors. And she's obviously out of Melbourne, it looks like. So I'll go to fine art prints. So super reasonable prices, $31. I mean, it's super cheap. You know, very, very affordable. So high quality. I mean, this is easily going to sell. I could see this. No problem because she's already at the top of her game, I would say, as far as quality for selling. So I could see this just selling right away. It's really nice. She's added little clips of people connected to it. So it just dramatizes it, makes a little more human feel to it versus a gallery look. So that's always really smart to just have people here and there added in. Maybe you're holding it a print like she is here. She has multiple photos with people in it next to the thing. So that just, I think this adds a lot of personal touch. Very, very smart setup on the prints, and it just has the name and the cost. So that's really smart. Go to woven tapestries. Okay, so she has the tapestry on the horse. I'm like, why is that looking like that? So I think these are paintings made into a tapestry. So you can probably order this and just put it on your website. So that's kind of smart. I don't think she's doing the tapestry herself. Let me see. It's probably just, I'm guessing she makes it. Or she probably, it's pretty cool because if you just go in here, it's just got the tapestry on site with the print and everything. So you got a feel of what it might look like in the studio, as a bedspread, as a blanket out in nature. I doubt you would use it this way, but she has some collector reviews. So this is cool, this kind of Instagram look, but it has just some pictures up. So this, it's really smart, I think, as far as that, how that's set up. Let's go to the aluminum prints. 8 products. I'm surprised there's only 8. That's interesting. She doesn't have the originals here, so she must have originals in galleries, I'm guessing. I'll just open one. So I guess she's printing onto aluminum, I want to say, because it's not the original. So she has an about page. Let's see what this is about. So again, pretty smart. It shows a gallery, so she's a gallery level artist already. So you, from a collector standpoint, oh, it's high value. It goes in a gallery. I don't have to worry about it. It's kind of emerging. Who knows where it's actually in a gallery. So from a collector standpoint, that's really smart. Very, very high quality work. I gotta say, it's just amazing.
Definitely earned it. She's very young, but man, painting.
So that's that. And I would encourage any artist to do this on their about page. I've done something similar. I got to redo mine a little bit, but this is better in the sense that it shows her a little bit of personality. But on site at the gallery showing, unfortunately, I don't have many videos of this of my own video, so it's kind of sucks. I can't really do it, but if you ever do a gallery show, definitely film yourself there. Get every possible angle like she's doing, and you snip it all into like a really nice intro. And it really establishes yourself as a gallery artist, which is going to really set the stage if you're at that level already. So just really, really impressive work. It's interesting that I thought she would have something, because this is only her prints basically. So her print side of the business, she's obviously doing herself. And then the gallery, she's outsourcing to the painters, but it's interesting. Let me check her out again. I mean, I don't know where she sells her originals. I don't know why you wouldn't put a link to the gallery. Maybe she's holding on to all the paintings now. I'm not sure, or maybe she just took a break, so that's where she's at right now. It's just weird that she wouldn't have originals. So she was selling. Maybe she did have selling. This was sold out. So she does have paintings. It's just maybe they're closed off for some reason. Maybe she's on vacation. She sold out all of her work. So you can see here, one of her paintings, it was $12,000. So obviously she's making some bank with this. She's definitely full time. If you're selling bank, you sell one of those a month, you're set, you know? So really impressive. It's weird that she doesn't have paintings up already. Maybe she just took a break. That's what I'm seeing, is she sold out of her inventory. Maybe she's done too well that she just sold out, or like, oh my God, I got to raise my prices kind of thing. So that's always a good problem to have. And then you just, if you sell all your work, just slowly inch up. And then if you sell that out, inch up, inch up, inch up, inch up. So, but you don't want to raise it too fast. But I think she's doing super well. Obviously, you know, she's still pretty young, in her mid 20s, I'm going to guess, maybe even early 30s, but probably her 20s still. So she's just knocking it out of the park. Congratulations. I would recommend, hopefully she sees more videos. It'd be interesting to see what she does in the future. If you'd like to subscribe, you can subscribe below. And I'll see you in the next Artist React video. See you guys.